Sorry, I'll start over again. So I'm opening the subcommittee work session on Senate Bill 207. I've handed out to everyone Amendment 1982H, and it just changes Section 7, which deals with the definite of the emergency medical and trauma services, critical incident intervention management. And what I was saying is that this just changes membership in the teams and who can appoint people to it, basically. And the main point of doing this at all is so that, if a fireman or policeman who's been through a traumatic situation is being counseled by, other members, that that the people helping them are allowed to maintain confidentiality, because I think the last thing you need if you're trying to deal with being through something traumatic is to be worried about, censoring your words because you're afraid something might be used against you, basically. So, and similarly, I mean, mental health professionals have that protection, lawyers, ministers, that sort of thing. So, yeah.
So your name is on the amendment, but this is the language is, as your remarks imply, is similar to or identical to statutory language that's already out there for other professions, to your knowledge.
Not exactly. Well, I mean, the this is making some changes to existing statute, right? The existing
Exactly.
statute's there, and it's adding um, who can
Right.
appoint people. And this is the language that was agreed to by the police and fire folks. So,
Thank you. That was my assumption from your
yeah.
remarks, and
Yeah, the only difference is OLS caught one other place in here where peer support group language was in there, and that was taken out as well. It's now not used at all. I guess that's actually used in a different context, and that was providing some concern um, and possibly confusion. So, anybody else have any other discussion, questions? Okay, not seen any. Would somebody like to make a motion? Maybe to adopt this amendment, or I can?
Yeah, I'll move the amendment.
Okay. I'll second it. So any other discussion on the amendment? All right, seeing none. So we're voting whether or not, one other thing I'll say is that, there's the non-germane amendment to SB 207 and possibly other things. So if we vote to accept this and recommend that to the full committee, then I think the full committee in exec session later today is going to have a vote on this, on Jackie's non-germane amendment, and there's another issue. And however that vote comes out, then there'll be a combined amendment drafted, and we'll have to exec it at the next meeting just to accept that amendment. But that's the process. So, yep.
The confidentiality aspect, I mean, do you have some, could
It's
that be used for ill as well as,
well,
we're gonna cover up this thing by you being my counselor?
well that doesn't. The person counseling them can't be required to divulge what was said, but that doesn't prevent.
I mean, the members of your peer group.
Right. But that doesn't prevent any other investigation or disciplinary process from proceeding. So it doesn't provide protection
Oh, but-
outside of people who have been assigned to provide you counseling dealing with the issue.
But I think it specifically says that you can't be compelled to testify.
The one who can't be compelled to testify is the person
Confidential.
who's counseling you.
Yes, but I mean, except as provided in
We're looking-
subparagraph C, no person, whether critical incident stress management team member or team leader or peer group support member providing or receiving critical incident stress management, crisis intervention, or peer support services shall be required to testify or divulge any information obtained solely
Solely,
through such crisis intervention.
right, solely, through that.
Solely.
So any other, I mean, if there was no, let's say they weren't involved in this peer counseling thing, you know, there's things in place for investigations, I mean, criminal or just
I just
internal.
meant if everybody involved is in the peer group.
No, that would be,
You're kind of absolving them from telling the truth about something that went bad, you know?
well, I get what you're getting at, but I think that if, you know, everybody was involved in an incident is part of that's made part of the peer support group, I think that's not going to look good, and there will be, and any other investigation can still go forward, so.
Yeah, by an outside person who's not equipped with the information, and all the
Well,
ones who are were there.
Or the department, or the AG, or, you know, whoever,
No, you're aware of that and you're satisfied.
I am. Anything else? Okay, we're going to take a vote on adopting Amendment 1982H to Senate Bill 207. Representative Smith. Representative Bailey.
Yes.
Representative Goley. And I vote yes, so that's, we have 4-0. All right,
The chairman knows this, but I'm not on. the
I
committee.
know. That's,
know you
that's
know
why I
that.
didn't call on you.
But it's- well,
Oh, that's,
you know.
so people know why you
yeah,
didn't vote.
yeah.
Right.
We're aware of it. I just want the other subcommittee members to understand that I'm not on this.
Okay, I'm going to close the subcommittee work session on Senate Bill 207. And I'm going to open the subcommittee work session on Senate Bill 106, once I find what I'm doing here. Okay. If people remember from the last subcommittee work session, I had pointed out that, what RSA here? That RSA 170-E50 grants DHHS rulemaking authority to create professional certification for childcare programs. And in fact, as I understand it, all the other certification for childcare programs was done through rulemaking. And so it didn't seem like this was necessary. And, you know, the question was why, you know, whether there's something to prevent DHHS from creating this certificate through rulemaking, or if there is, there's some reason they didn't. And I sent at least everybody in the subcommittee some email exchanges between myself and Diane Chase of DHHS and Carol McGuire. And they have, DHHS is committed to creating this certification through rulemaking. And they said they can do it and they will do it. Chair McGuire said she's going to send them an official letter from the ED&A committee, letting them know that that's what we expect them to do. And so what I'd like to propose retaining this bill, and if they do proceed and do this through rulemaking, then in the fall we can ITL it, and if they don't, then, well, we can make them. So any discussion on that? Okay.
I will second that.
Okay, I'll move it, you second it, all right. Any further question or discussion on this?
Oh,
Okay.
makes perfect sense.
All right.
Sorry about this.
Representative Smith? Representative Bailey?
Yes.
Representative Goley? And I vote yes. And so I'm closing the subcommittee work session on Senate Bill 106, and we're done with this subcommittee. Thank you, everybody, for
For everybody who's in the room, the subcommittee on the pension does have a subcommittee meeting going from 10 to 10:30, although I'm hoping it won't take quite that long to get this done. I've handed out to all of the subcommittee members amendments 2023-1951H. It basically just replaces the whole bill with the updated building codes that the Building Code Review Board has approved to allow these new refrigerants to operate in the state of New Hampshire safely. I sent out that information last night. If you were super curious in it, you could have looked through the 47 pages of code. But did anybody on the subcommittee have any comment about this amendment or any other thoughts on the bill itself?
So, just for the record, Mr. Chairman,
Mhm.
so the changes are just lines
15 and 16.
15 and 16.
Yep.
Right.
We passed legislation similar earlier that was November 30th. So they just had this meeting and updated these codes and then are looking for approval on the ones for the refrigerants.
I believe I understand, and I'm okay with it.
You good? Yes, Representative True.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Is anyone speaking today?
Not that I'm aware of. Is
Fine,
there anybody
okay.
who'd like to?
Um,
I don't think so.
According to my very extensive notes, what we wanted to avoid is not having this in RSAs and building codes separately.
Correct.
And as the way, this corrects, that
Yes.
does that.
This gets it to the finalized product that we want
Thank you.
without having to do the multiple steps. Any other questions? I'd entertain a motion. Representative True.
Move to accept amendment 1951H to Senate Bill 53.
Second?
Second by Representative Schmidt. Any conversation? Comment? Representative True.
Doing what everyone wanted and requested and what needed to be done. I hope this comes out of the committee with a positive recommendation, and hope out of the subcommittee with a positive recommendation.
Great.
Ditto.
All right, I will call the roll on it then. The motion before us is the adoption of Amendment 2023-1951H to SB 53. Representative Davis? Representative Schmidt?
Yes.
Representative True?
Yes?
Representative Gerhard? All right, with that then, I would, yes, we'll move the, yes. Oh, yes, and the chair votes yes as well. Thank you. So we'll, I'm going a little too fast. So having adopted the amendment, I would move ought to pass as amended on SB 53. Do I have a second on that? Representative True?
Third.
I don't have anything to say, Representative True. Any other comment? All right, I will call the roll then. The motion is ought to pass on SB 53 as amended. Representative Davis? Representative Schmidt?
With amendment, yes.
Representative True?
Yes?
Representative Gerhard?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. All right, that was as easy as I hoped it would be.
Beautiful. Meet you all at the restaurant.
We're off until 10:30.
Done yet. No, we're not done. But everybody will be happy to be notified that they're all ready for us. I've spoken with the events manager this morning, and everything is ready to go. And we'll talk about directions at the end of the full committee meeting.
I think we should go to the restaurant. Doesn't want to tell us now.
Don't toy with me.
All right, good morning. Before we get to our executive session, we have two bills that the Senate has amended. The first one is House Bill 409, which was completely replaced by a, I believe, 50-page amendment, and which includes a lot of words from House Bill 655 and some other points and the social work compact. So I'm going to recommend we go to committee of conference on that because this is the side-by-side analysis. I don't think we can decide. We want to talk to have the committee read the bill, read the amendment, and discuss with the Senate what they think they're doing. Anybody have objections to that?
No, I think it's a good idea.
Okay. I will forward the electronic version. The one paper copy should be plenty. All right, so if nobody objects, I'll tell the clerk that. Is there anyone interested in serving on that subcommittee, on the committee of conference? Okay. Make a note. What's that? I don't know if Jackie even heard. I did. She heard, okay. Yeah, well, I'll put you on the list. And anybody else, that if you don't say you're not interested, you're subject to being appointed. So. So anyhow, that one looks like it's got to be discussed. The other one is House Bill 461, which left us as requiring a penalty if a municipality chose to replace a full-time high-level position with part-time. And the Senate amended it to make it a study committee on the subject. I'm inclined to say just don't concur and let somebody bring something in next year if they still care. Does anybody have strong feelings on that?
I'd like to see it.
You'd like to study?
No, I don't want the study committee.
Oh. that's
I'd
what
like
they
to see it pass. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Okay, fine. So Representative Simon and Goalie want to
Yep.
go to committee of conference. I'm happy with that. Any objections? Representative Schmidt does not want to be on that committee of conference. That's fine. It wasn't your issue.
Well, no, it's not my issue, but I do think it's a good idea.
Okay, yeah, fine. Representative True,
But we're going to committee of conference to defend our position
absolutely,
and nothing less.
right,
And nothing more. We can't do
yeah,
more.
can't do more.
Right.
All right. All right, so we will, I'll tell the clerk that, and we'll get to that. And let's see, these are our last Senate bills, so if we reach agreement on them today, we will not have to come back as a committee. So there we go. Senate Bill 207. Tony, you have a subcommittee amendment. You could explain it, a
I
motion, and
do.
explain it to us.
And so this is Amendment 1982H to Senate Bill 207. And just refresh people, this bill is related to a situation where you've got police or fire who are in some traumatic situation, and you know, other such people can provide counseling, and by having that set up, the people doing the counseling are covered under another part of the statute that provides them, with some exceptions, confidentiality. The idea is that if you've dealt with a traumatic situation and you're talking with somebody to kind of work through it, it's not helpful if you have to carefully censor what you say because you're worried it might be used against you. And it's for the same reasons that mental health professionals have that confidentiality. and, religious ministers, pastors, and whatever. And the amendment was agreed to between the police and the fire folks, and it just changes the language on, who the members can be and who can, and it adds to who can appoint them. And so,
So originally this bill had a study committee did you leave that in there?
my understanding of what Carol's planning is we'll deal with that issue separately. This amendment by itself doesn't remove it. But,
We also have another amendment.
right, I mean, I think we're going to be voting on at least three things for this, and one of them is study committee, but that's not in this amendment. Yeah,
Okay, so there'll be other amendments on this bill?
that's my understanding.
Okay.
There's a rather hefty non-germane
one is
amendment
yours, I
we heard
think.
Monday, for example. Okay. So this is purely about Section 7, the medical service, emergency services. So moved by Representative Lekis, and is it seconded?
I'll s-
Okay. And anyone else have comments, questions, concerns? And while we're here, anyone who doesn't recognize Representative Schultz is filling in for Representative Fitzpatrick. Okay. All right, if there's no further discussion, the motion is to adopt Amendment 1892.
1982.
Wasn't that what I said?
No, said 1892.
1982 then, sorry. All right, those in favor? Oh, sorry, the clerk will call the roll. My mistake. I think I need lunch.
Representative Simon,
Yes.
Representative Lakis,
Yes,
Representative Bailey,
Yes.
Representative Santo
Yes.
Representative True,
Yes.
Representative Dolan, Representative Abear,
Yes.
Representative Gerhard,
Yes.
Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda,
Yes.
Representative Schmidt,
Yes.
Representative Goley,
Yes.
Representative Schuett,
Yes.
Representative O'Brien,
Yes.
Representative Grassi,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Schultz,
Yes.
Representative Gould,
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes,
20 yea, 0 nay.
all right. Representative Groda, you have another amendment.
I do. Just a moment. I move non-germane amendment, and I don't have the number.
It's 1915.
Thank you. It's 1915, and it's the one that we had the hearing on Monday.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Okay, do you want to introduce this amendment here?
Yes, the amendment defines, expands the licensure for social workers to a something. It's not a temporary. I'm just searching for the word. here.
Conditional.
Thank you. Conditional. It's a conditional license so that individuals don't have to wait for licenses as they're moving into the state. So if they meet the requirements of and they already have a license in good standing with other states, they can have a conditional license for New Hampshire.
You have copies of that amendment?
Well, I gave them on Monday out to the committee, and I don't have an extra one right now. Were you here? I'm sorry. I can get you one. We discussed it on Monday. I'll give you mine.
I'm looking at it. What? Absolutely.
No, it's in there 12 times.
Yeah. I mean, you could have missed it. Okay. Representative Grode, it reads to me as though this is for someone who is still doesn't meet all the requirements for license, but is working on them?
Yes.
Okay, so that might apply to people who are registering here for the first time
Yes,
and just need the supervised practice.
yes.
Okay, thank you, that makes sense.
The way of making healthcare, social workers more accessible to clients.
Okay. So that covers social workers, school social workers, associates, etc. Okay. Any other discussion, comments, questions? Representative Shuett?
The only thing I'll point out, I had suggested a slight change to Representative Grote's amendment because there are several places in the amendment that it refers to an acronym, CSWE. When I was actually looking at it, I was saying to myself, well, is that C clinical or certified, or exactly what is that? So I went back to the original statute, and the first place that that acronym is listed, it still doesn't explain it. I went through my notes and discovered that it should be the Council on Social Workers Education. So
So
I'm
that's on
thinking-
page 3, line 15.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I'm just suggesting that if we adopt this amendment, that should be clarified for statute someplace. I think perhaps it could be done as an enrolled amendment if the committee agrees.
I think we're going to be dealing with the previous amendment as well, so this will not be the final amendment, so we might as well spell it out in this one.
Okay,
So, without objection, we'll change this on page 3, line 15, to spell out CACREP.
No, it's page 1 on line 31, Madam Chair. CSWE.
Oh, that's the one you
yeah,
don't.
that's the first reference.
That's the
Yeah.
only one, I couldn't see that anywhere else. But that's
Line
good.
22 as well.
Line 22, yeah, that was the first place that I saw it.
Fine, so line 22 being higher, we spell it out on that one.
Right.
Okay, spell out the acronym. Is there any objection to doing so? Okay, we'll do that as an editorial comment then.
Thank you.
Any other issues with this amendment?
I
Representative
just
Wagner.
wanted to point out that it also creates a, doesn't this create a committee or commission? Committee.
Yes,
And,
It- that's in the original bill, not the amendment.
oh,
And we will. it
oh, I
just-
see. That's the amended analysis. Never mind.
Right,
Thank you.
okay. All right. So any other discussion on Amendment 1915? As corrected by our grammar? Okay, seeing none, the motion is to adopt the amendment. Now the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon,
Yes.
Representative Lakis,
Yes.
Representative Bailey,
Yes.
Representative Santo-Nastaso,
Yes.
Representative True,
Yes.
Representative Dolan,
Yes.
Representative Weber,
Yes.
Representative Gerhard,
Yes.
clerk votes yes. Representative Groda,
Yes.
Representative Schmidt,
Yes.
Representative Goley,
Yes.
Representative Shuett,
Yes.
Representative O'Brien,
Yes.
Representative Grassi,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Schultz,
Yes.
Representative Gould,
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
Okay. And I move that we delete sections 1 through 6, which creates the study committee on licensure of mental health professionals. I don't have a formal amendment for that, but I move we delete it.
Just want to point
Representative
out,
Blackett.
section 1 is legislative findings. I'm okay removing it, but it's not part of the committee.
Fine. I'll correct that to be sections 2 through 6. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. And I'm doing this because the speaker has asked us not to create any unnecessary study committees. When we had the hearing, we agreed that the timing and schedule on this was not sufficient to actually accomplish very much. And thirdly, we already have several retained bills on mental health licensing, and we will be looking into it anyway. We don't need a separate study committee to keep doing what we plan to do. Representative Simon, do you have something to add?
No, you said it well. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Representative Broda?
Thank you. Since I was on the study committee and I was on the original bill for the study committee, I will support the motion.
All right, thank you. Anyone else? Okay, in that case, the motion is to delete sections 2 through 6 from Senate Bill 207. The clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon.
Yes.
Representative Lakis.
Yes.
Representative Bailey.
Yes.
Representative Santonastaso.
Yes.
Representative True.
Yes.
Representative Dolan.
Yes.
Representative Abear.
Yes.
Representative Gerhard.
Yes.
Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Goley.
Yes.
Representative Schuett.
Yes.
Representative O'Brien.
Yes.
Representative Grassi.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Schultz.
Yes.
Representative Gould.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
Okay. All right, so we will request a composite amendment, which will leave section 1 alone, delete sections 2 through 6, which is the study committee, replace section 7 with the amendment 1982H, and add sections 8 through 11 from Amendment 1915. And, okay. And section 7 is, okay. The effective dates would be for the conditional licenses 60 days after passage, which should be after Senate Bill 655 goes into effect. The other one's on passage because there's not a question of interference. All right. So the motion is to amend Senate Bill 207 in these 3 ways. I'll make that motion. And is there a second? Representative Blackus. All right. I've said enough. Representative Blackus?
I think we've covered it.
Okay. Anyone else have a comment, question? Okay, in that case, the motion is to amend Senate Bill 207, and the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon.
Yes.
Representative Lakis. Representative Bailey.
Yes.
Representative Santonastaso.
Yes.
Representative True.
Yes.
Representative Dolan.
Yes.
Representative Abear.
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Goley.
Yes.
Representative Schuett.
Yes.
Representative O'Brien.
Yes.
Representative Grassi.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Schultz.
Yes.
Representative Gould.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
Does anyone object to consent? Seeing none, we'll put it on consent. Mr. Greenland, would you deal with OLS to get that amendment? Thank you. All right, that's one down. Okay, so moving up the list. Senate Bill 150. Did that go to subcommittee? All right, I have an amendment, which is over on the table. I'll pass it around. You're good, Chris. No question about it. Thank you. I want to remind myself what I did. Okay. Okay. So I moved amendment 1636H. Is there a second? Second. Thank you. This bill is a revision to the Marital Masters Board at their request to reduce the number of members and so that they can have a quorum. So we agreed that they should reduce the number of members of the board, and the amendment has three parts. First, it defines a quorum as 3. I didn't want to put any limits on people who were appointed. I figured if you have fewer than 3 people there, you can't really have an effective meeting. So quorum is 3. The marital master seat being eliminated immediately is because there aren't any more marital masters. So it isn't filled, can't be filled, and we'll just eliminate it. And then the third part is to delete the requirement for setting fees in the requirements for interns, and then repeal RSA 328C11 on fees, because that's all been superseded by House Bill 655 and the OPLC fee setting authority. So if anyone has any questions, Representative True, do you have a comment?
Thank you, Madam Chair. You said it well. As in testimony, the problem was the large board just could not meet. That was the major thing that needed to be corrected, and the amendment does that.
Okay. Any comments, questions, concerns? All right, in that case, the motion is to adopt Amendment 1636H, and the clerk call the roll.
Representative Simon.
Yes.
Representative Lakis.
Yes.
Representative Bailey.
Yes.
Representative Santonastasso.
Yes.
Representative True.
Yes.
Representative Dolan.
Yes.
Representative Abear.
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Goley.
Yes.
Representative Schuett.
Yes.
Representative O'Brien.
Yes.
Representative Grassi.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Fitzpatrick. Oh, I mean Schultz. Sorry.
Yes.
Representative Gould.
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes.
20 yea, 0 nay.
All right. And so I move ought to pass with amendment on Senate Bill 150.
I'll second.
Thank you. I have nothing to say. Representative Groda?
No.
No? Okay. Representative Simon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm just having a hard time remembering this one for some reason. Can anybody remind me what the power or authority of this board is?
It's the over marital mediator.
Okay, so it's just overseeing.
It's a standard
Yeah,
professional
okay.
board.
Just want to make sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
and we're slightly revising the number of people on the board, setting their quorum, and deleting fee authority.
Okay, fair enough.
They still have all the professional requirements as before.
I might add, there's 61 family mediators in the court system.
How many?
61.
61.
Yep.
Okay.
The hearing was on March 30th, so it's been a while.
I missed the number. Okay. Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, in that case, the motion is ought to pass as amended on Senate Bill 150. Didn't I say that?
I think you said as amended.
I'm sorry, Representative Schmidt. I know it's as with amendment. If I misspoke, I apologize. Any Representative Stewart, you got a comment?
I was just saying that we technically cannot amend a bill. The House has to do it. So we just send it to them with the amendment.
Right. Okay. As a Senate Bill 150 with amendment, and the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon,
Yes.
Representative Lakers,
Yes.
Representative Bailey,
Yes.
Representative Santos Sasso,
Yes.
Representative True,
Yes.
Representative Dolan,
Yes.
Representative Abear,
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda,
Yes.
Representative Schmidt,
Yes.
Representative Goley,
Yes.
Representative Schuett,
Yes.
Representative O'Brien,
Yes.
Representative Grassi,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Schultz,
Yes.
Representative Gould,
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes.
20 yea, 0 nay.
All right. The motion passes 20-0. Any objection to consent? Seeing none, we'll put it on consent. That's the last video report I'm going to write. Senate Bill 107. Representative Groda, I believe you have an amendment.
I do, Madam Chair. I move amendment 1943, which is an amendment that had it was a non-germane amendment that had a hearing on Monday, the 22nd.
Okay. Okay.
Second.
Okay. Seconded by Representative Schuett. Very good. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
I do, thank you. The amendment to Senate Bill 107 is a result of many hearings that we had on the organizational structure of OPLC and repeals the disciplinary proceeding for boards as we discussed in many of the subcommittee to make sure that the disciplinary hearings and the disciplinary actions and the investigation and agitate and the oh my god, what's the word I'm looking for? Fine adjudication could be separated. Thank you. That's one of the things that it does. The other thing it also addresses public members shall be independent from the functions from the board specialties, and that was not clearer in several of the boards, so we did include that. It does on page It does on, I'm looking for the page, exactly the number that it does to make sure that those individuals who don't participate in board meetings or exhibit malfeasance can be removed from the board. So it puts that in one place.
That's page, the last, page 11,
Thank you.
section 67.
And then on page 10, it redefines the medical review subcommittee as a panel of clinicians that assist OPLC in investigations. So it gives the authority to OPLC to investigate, and the appointments from a panel of clinicians will be conducted by the executive director. So these are the four attributes of this amendment.
Thank you, Representative Schuett. Do you wish to speak?
No, I think as long as Owen has any further questions, I think Representative Grote explained it pretty well.
Representative Schmidt?
Well, I think it should be mentioned that most importantly, it eliminates the section of the Senate amendment that was causing lots of concern, members of the public and a lot of other people. So that's completely deleted.
Yes. Yes, and I would like to say that it started as the sections we took out of House Bill 655 for further discussion and analysis, and so it cleans up a lot of language that that we need. The Medical Review Subcommittee has had some problems with conflict of interest. And this language establishes that the board will say what kind of people they need, and then the OPLC will appoint them to that subcommittee. There's one other thing, the electricians board, we want to delete, I think it's line 1 on page 7, that removes their ability to appeal to the Building Code Review Board in cases of conflicts about the interpretation of the building codes, because it would be a lot easier to deal with the Building Code Review Board than with a judge in that case. Is that the line that you agreed to take out? Yeah. Okay, so that's line 1 on page 7. Any other questions, comments, Representative Blackus?
I just wanted to say that Representative Grote and I went over this in great detail with Director Courtney and Attorney Osterhout, and I'm fine with it.
Okay. Anyone else? My goodness. I guess the subcommittees have beaten this one to death. Okay. It's okay. Comments, questions? Seeing none, the motion is to adopt Amendment 1943H less.
Less line 1 on page 7.
Right, okay.
Have we got some more copies? I'm looking at Amendment 1728, which is not what we're really talking about.
No, this is the one we had the non-germane hearing on Monday.
Right. Oh. Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't. Yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Representative McGuire, could we ask Mr. Greenland to address that amendment with OLS so
Yes.
that we can get that done? Thank
Absolutely.
you. Thank you so much.
I
Yes,
realize that.
thank
I'm
you.
just making it
That's
easy.
the one line on top of page 7, which repeals RSA 319 CA2. C12-A, sorry. That's the, so we should vote on the amendment first.
Yes.
All right, the motion is to adopt the amendment 1943H as amended, and the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon,
Yes.
Representative Lakis,
Yes.
Representative Bailey,
Yes.
Representative Santo Anastasio,
Yes.
Representative True,
Yes.
Representative Dolan,
Yes.
Representative Abear,
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda,
Yes.
Representative Schmidt,
Yes.
Representative Goley,
Yes.
Representative Schuett,
Yes.
Representative O'Brien,
Yes.
Representative why is Wilhelm on here? Grassy.
Yes.
Sorry.
It's an old sheet.
It's an old sheet. Sorry. I apologize. Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Schultz,
Yes.
Representative Gould,
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
Okay. Representative Groder, you have an amendment. I'm a motion.
I do. I move OTP on a pass with amendment on on Senate Bill 107.
Thank you. Moved by Representative Groder, second by Representative Gould. Yes, thank you. I think I've done enough this year. All right. Any further discussion, comments, questions? All right. Thank you very much. And Representative Groder, perhaps you'd mention what the first 6 sections of the bill do?
Oh, okay. I'm just looking for just a moment. Do you need it? I have, thank you.
There's 150.
This bill refers to the general administration of regulatory boards and commissions, and it gives an investigatory and legal expenses, except for those on the under the supervision of OPLC, to retain expert witnesses. It also makes sure that boards commence final adjudication hearings within 2 years of the initial formal disciplinary proceeding and on its own initiative, and it can extend the time period if needed upon written agreement. And it talks about criminal convictions. And that's essentially that's section 1. Section 2 talks about individuals with a prior criminal conviction can be disqualified, determined by the board and the commission. It also allows for petition period of 90 days, and the individual can appeal a determination. So it's really a procedure that looks at occupational licensure for applicants with criminal convictions.
Representative Gould, do you have a comment?
No, Madam Chair. I think
Okay.
Representative Grody covered it.
Anyone else? Representative Lakis.
Yep. This thing did originally repeal the right to petition the board for review of a criminal record. However, the amendment we just adopted replaced that, so that remains.
Mhm.
And as far as how long adjudication can take, I was a little surprised to see 2 years. I might have liked less, but I wasn't gonna do anything about it.
Well, that's to allow time for the investigation, and that's a very generous limit.
Yeah.
But in the recent past, there have been investigations that dragged on for much longer than 2 years. We hope that that would not be the case in the future.
Right, okay. Yeah, I mean, having somebody under that cloud that long seems to be a problem, but I'm not gonna object to it at this point.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Representative Schmidt?
Well, the thing is, it permits a process of up to 2 years, right? It doesn't say it requires 2 years. Potentially, it could get done with it more quickly. We will hope that the expedited processes that we're trying to create here will work better than what we have, and the executive director is nodding in agreement, so.
No, it
unless he
says
said
they
it right.
must hold the final hearing within 2 years. And we hope it'll be quicker. All right, any other comments? All right, thank you. The motion is to adopt Senate Bill 107 with amendment. And the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon,
Yes.
Representative Lakis,
Yes.
Representative Bailey,
Yes.
Representative Santonastaso,
Yes.
Representative True,
Yes.
Representative Dolan,
Yes.
Representative Abear,
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda,
Yes.
Representative Schmidt,
Yes.
Representative Goley,
Yes.
Representative Schuett,
Yes.
Representative O'Brien,
Yes.
Representative Grassi,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Schultz,
Yes.
Representative Gould,
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
All right, the motion passes 20-0. Any objections to consent? All right, seeing none, we'll put this one on consent. Senate Bill 106. Representative Grassi, you have a motion?
Yes, Madam Chairperson, and I'd move that we retain this bill.
I'll second.
Okay. Do you wish to speak to your motion?
Sure. Not much, though. It's, the thing is this is something that the childcare providers have asked for. HHS says they can do this without going to rules, and they could do it themselves possibly. And what I'd like to see, if they can get that done this summer, that's fine. If they don't, then we may have to force their hand.
Okay, Representative Blackus.
I think it was just covered.
Okay. Any other questions, comments, discussion?
Clarification, I didn't quite hear which bill.
All the requirements for these certificates are in rules, not in statute.
Right, but we just didn't hear the bill number very clearly.
Senate Bill 106.
106, thank you.
I'm going up from the bottom.
Glad you
Yep.
asked.
Yeah. Any other comments, questions? All right, the motion is to retain Senate Bill 106. Those in favor? Oh, the clerk can call the roll, sorry.
Representative Simon,
Yes.
Representative Lakis,
Yes.
Representative Bailey,
Yes.
Representative Santonastaso,
Yes.
Representative True,
Yes.
Representative Dolan,
Yes.
Representative Abear,
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda,
Yes.
Representative Schmidt,
Yes.
Representative Goley,
Yes.
Representative Schuett,
Yes.
Representative O'Brien,
Yes.
Representative Grassi,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Schultz, sorry.
Yes. That's
Representative
okay.
Gould,
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
All right. And I will say that am writing on behalf of the committee a letter to the Commissioner of HHS, formally asking them to initiate rulemaking on this issue. So I think- Yeah, we want them to do it, so let's remind them of it. All right, 106. Okay. Senate Bill 105. Representative Blackus, I believe you have an amendment or a motion?
It's going to be to adopt an amendment, and if you give me a moment, I'll have the amendment.
Is it 1728? Is it the one we did in the subcommittee?
It is. That sounds
Okay,
right.
it's amendment 1728H.
Not 105. I have two Oh, it's House Bill 105. Excuse me, that's my mistake. Senate Bill 105.
I'm,
Right, I can pass that to Representative Schmidt.
I'll be with you. Okay, so, the original intent of this bill, this bill concerns the information that both, a new mother is required to, provide, when the child is born, and also the, information that the facility, provides. And there was actually a committee that Senator Rosenwald chaired that I was on concerning this. And the concern was there's a lot of private information that is required to be included. And there were in fact criminal penalties if inaccurate information was provided.
No, it didn't say inaccurate. It says false information.
Well, false.
So there's a,
Knowingly false, so.
Right.
Or, which you, and so, I'm trying to actually find the amendment here. Here we I have copies. I apologize. for
Are you
this.
looking for the amendment?
Yeah, which I know I have in here.
So,
All right, thank you. Great. Okay, so, I'm all set.
I'll take it.
Thank you. Thank you. So, one was to get rid of the criminal penalties for the information, other than for the information that was required to create a birth certificate, because if you know, that could be used for purposes of fraud. And the goal had been to keep that information private, at least if the mother wanted it to. And there was concern about the impact of not having the information. Then the Senate amended it, but their amendment basically made it so it was impossible for the Secretary of State to issue birth certificates, which is kind of a problem. And there just wasn't time to figure out the process where we could keep as much information private as possible and still not cause other problems. So the options would have been to retain it, to work on it, but instead, this amendment, 1728H, keeps the part that decriminalizes it, you know, the information that's provided that is not related to the birth certificate. The other thing that was the original bill is current statute requires that the hospital or birthing place keeps the records basically for eternity. This drops it down to 7 years, which is common for other records. That's what the amendment does.
Okay, Representative Grote, oh, yeah, do you have a comment?
I do. Well, I don't know if there was a second, but if there's a second, I'll second
Okay.
Representative Lekis's motion to adopt the amendment.
Thank you. Anyone else? The 7 years is because if a parent neglects to get a birth certificate immediately upon the birth of a child, the most usual time they come back for it is when the kid goes to school. And therefore, 7 years of retention of this record will allow a birth certificate, a delayed birth certificate, without as much hassle as it would be if they had to try and recreate memories and things like that. While retaining privacy, I thought that it was very important that we not burden the parents. I don't mind so much burdening the hospitals, but the parents should not be burdened any more than necessary. So that's why 7 years. Yes. Representative Hebert.
Thank you, Madam Chair. In my time here in the legislature, there's been very few bills that have gotten me really, really fired up or that I've thought about for several days after we heard them. So I'm proud to be part of this, although it's not perfect and where we all wanted to go with it, it is a start. So thank you.
Okay. Anyone, Representative Bailey.
Well, a question. There was an earlier amendment, 1504, what happened to that? That's, which seems to include the same material as this most current one in the final piece.
This one is
It had earlier
fairly,
sections.
it's simpler.
I can help with that. In the subcommittee, that amendment was not adopted. It was adopted. This one was the one that was adopted.
So it took out the part about the mother's. in the final-
Medical records, correct.
Yeah,
Record number, correct.
thank you.
Representative Gould.
Just as a genealogist and also as someone who handled data for DCYF, I want to thank the committee and everybody who's worked so hard on this. It raised a lot of concern across a lot of sectors that work with the data, and you all did a great job. Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Representative Schuett.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Just to chime in, I agree with Representative Abear that this bill presented quite a few issues. And at first I thought that retention was the way to go. However, I'm particularly glad to see that something is coming forward so that we can get rid of the penalty that was out there. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Representative Schmidt.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So I want to just make sure the record reflects the fact that we had a lot of public input with regard to the absolutely essential aspect of the medical screening that's done, that goes into the records, that there's some extremely pernicious childhood abnormalities that can occur, which can be virtually eliminated if they're screened immediately or virtually immediately. And if this information is not obtained and acted upon, you can have people's lives dramatically diminished as a result of it. So I think the public should know that we are going to still support that kind of information gathering without putting the public in general jeopardy, especially the knowingly false information aspect of the existing statute that we don't want. So, thank you.
All right, thank you. Other Representative Lekis.
Yeah, just for the record, even if this bill as originally written had passed, it would actually, and we did get that testimony, people were concerned about it. But even the original bill would not have stopped the requirement that early childhood testing be done. That's, there's other statute and things that set that in place, and it's an obligation on the doctor and the healthcare facility. So whether or not HHS had the information on what was done, that was still an obligation. And so while I understand, people were concerned that that might impact it, I don't believe it really would have anyway. So.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it definitely will not now.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? All right, seeing none, the motion is to adopt Amendment 1728 to Senate Bill 105. The clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon.
Yes.
Representative Lakis.
Yes.
Representative Bailey.
Yes.
Representative Santo-Nastasso.
Yes.
Representative True.
Yes.
Representative Dolan.
Yes.
Representative Abear.
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Goley.
Yes.
Representative Schuett.
Yes.
Representative O'Brien.
Yes.
Representative Grassi.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Schultz.
Yes.
Representative Gould.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
All right, the amendment is adopted. Representative Lekis, you have a motion?
I move to pass with amendment on Senate Bill 105.
Is there a second? Second by Representative Gould. All right. Any further discussion, comments, questions? All right, in that case, the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon.
Yes.
Representative Lakis.
Yes.
Representative Bailey.
Yes.
Representative Santo-Nastasso.
Yes.
Representative True.
Yes.
Representative Dolan.
Yes.
Representative Abear.
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Goley.
Yes.
Representative Schuett.
Yes.
Representative O'Brien.
Yes.
Representative Grassi.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Schultz.
Yes.
Representative Gould.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
Okay, the motion passes 20-0. Any objection to consent? Okay, seeing none, we'll put this one on consent. And Representative Simon, you have on Senate Bill 53, you have a motion.
Yes, Madam Chair, I would like to move Amendment 1951H.
Okay, you wish to speak to your motion?
Yes, this bill dealt with new refrigerants that are being released to the market because due to the Federal Clean Air Act, the refrigerants that we currently use are going to be phased out over the next period of time. And so this amendment basically puts into building code the necessary code to make the new refrigerants legal to produce and use in the state of New Hampshire. It's been reviewed by the Building Code Review Board, and they're just looking for our ratification.
Representative True, do you wish to speak to your second?
Yes, Madam Chair. So I view this as a problem that has been created by the Clean Air Act and our reaction to it, so that in our state, builders are able to install the new refrigerant gases. Because the ones we currently are using being withdrawn, used up, thrown away. It's just something we have to do. So I support the amendment.
Anyone else, comments?
Definitely true.
Thank you, thank you, every word. Representative Groda.
I do want to clarify that when we update this committee in the future, we'll be updating the building codes. And when we do update them, this is going to be part of the definition of the building codes now. So this will automatically be part of the building code update should this need a change. Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, the Building Code Review Board, when we go to a newer edition of the building code, they normally include any amendments that are still relevant that were adopted earlier. And I'd like to comment that this merely increases the number and type of refrigerants that can be made in or sold in or used in the state. It doesn't delete the authority to use any existing refrigerants or any equipment that uses existing refrigerants. It just says you can also, as an option, use these others. And I think that that's, if they're going to be becoming more widely available, we want to adopt that position. Okay, other comments? All right, seeing none, the motion is to adopt Amendment 1951 to Senate Bill 53, and the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon.
Yes.
Representative Lakis.
Yes.
Representative Bailey.
Yes.
Representative Santo-Nastaso.
Yes.
Representative True.
Yes.
Representative Dolan.
Yes.
Representative Abear.
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda.
Yes.
Representative Schmidt.
Yes.
Representative Goley.
Yes.
Representative Schuett.
Yes.
Representative O'Brien.
Yes.
Representative Grassi.
Yes.
Representative Davis.
Yes.
Representative Schultz.
Yes.
Representative Gould.
Yes.
Representative Smith.
Yes.
And the chair.
Yes.
20 yeas, 0 nay.
Okay. Representative Simon?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I would like to move to pass on SB 53 with amendment.
Second.
Second by Representative Schmidt. Any further discussion? Comments, questions? I guess not. Okay. In that case, the motion is to adopt Senate Bill 53 with amendment, and the clerk can call the roll.
Representative Simon,
Yes.
Representative Lakis,
Yes.
Representative Bailey,
No.
Representative Santo
Yes.
Representative True,
Yes.
Representative Dolan,
Yes.
Representative Abear,
Yes.
Representative Gerhard. Clerk votes yes. Representative Groda,
Yes.
Representative Schmidt,
Yes.
Representative Goley,
Yes.
Representative Schuett,
Yes.
Representative O'Brien,
Yes.
Representative Grassi,
Yes.
Representative Davis,
Yes.
Representative Schultz,
Yes.
Representative Gould,
Yes.
Representative Smith,
Yes.
and the chair.
Yes.
19 yea, 1 nay.
The motion passes 19-1. Representative Bailey, do you plan on a minority report? No, okay, thank you. Do you object to consent? Okay. In that case, if no one else objects, we will put it on consent. And that's it. Representative Simon, Lekis, and Grotus, you each owe me a committee report as soon as possible. I managed to volunteer for 2 of them, so I'll be busy on that one. Representative Grassi, a motion to retain does not require a committee report, so you're golden. All right, anything else? All right, in that case, we are done. And Representative Schmidt has a comment.
So, ladies and gentlemen, and all the rest of you as well. So we have a little event that is happening, and I need to provide directions for those of you who don't know how to get to Macris Lobster and Steakhouse on Sheep Davis Road, I think 354 Sheep Davis Road. 354 is correct. And is there anyone who needs directions? Tom, okay, so we can, Brad has directions available for those of you who don't know how to get there. And those of you who do, we will see you there starting at 12:30 today. And Matt Santanastaso, are you going to attend? Fully decided. What are you working on it in terms of coming down, yay or nay? If you're coming, I need to see your money, $35.
Is anybody missing a pen? I can do that. But
Does it say anything on it?
it says for futures kids count.
Huh. I did study for kids count, but keep it.
www.newfutures.org. Yeah, I think it was here when I got here.
Yeah. Reminder, everyone who is the lead on a retained bill, please schedule a meeting to figure out what you're going to do on said retained bill. If you're going to wait till after the Senate does anything, that's okay as a plan, but you should have a plan.